Shocking Kbiz. Hye-yoon and Byeon Woo-seok have suddenly revealed a secret so unexpected. It left fans gasping, and some even joking they might faint. What could possibly be so powerful, so surprising, that it set the entire fandom ablaze? Join Red Carpet Revealed as we uncover every detail. Right here, right now. The night was supposed to be just another glittering evening in the world of Korean entertainment, a fan meeting wrapped in the warmth of familiar smiles, the polite applause of admirers, and the safe predictability of scripted moments. But when Hye-yoon and Byeon Woo-seok stepped onto the stage together, the air changed. Something in their eyes hinted that this would not be an ordinary night. Very first moment, there was a hush, a collective inhale, as if everyone in the venue sensed they were about to witness something that would ripple far beyond these walls. The fans in the front rows clutched their banners a little tighter. The camera flashes from the press section seemed to grow sharper, more urgent, and backstage staff shifted nervously. And then came the sentence that started it all. Byeon Woo-seok, standing just a breath away from Hye-yoon, looked out at the audience and said with a grin that could barely hide his nerves, "We have something to tell you tonight, something we've kept between us for a long time." That was it. No immediate explanation. Safe little announcement about a new drama or a charity event. Just that one line, heavy with implication, delivered with a sincerity that made every heartbeat in the room quicken. Within seconds, phones were out, live streams were running, and Twitter, no, X, was already alive with frantic messages. What's happening? What are they going to say? Is this about them? The hashtag HyeWoo secret began climbing the trends list before either of them had spoken another word. Hye-yoon, ever the poised and radiant star, glanced at Woo-seok and then back at the fans. Her voice was warm but tinged with something uncharacteristically vulnerable. "It's been a journey," she said. "And it's not something we've shared with the public before, but we think now is the right time." For those who had followed their careers, the sight of these two on stage together was already enough to stir emotions. Their shared history, co-starring in one of the most talked-about romance dramas of the decade. Their easy banter during interviews. The way their personalities seemed to balance each other perfectly, had made them a fan-favorite pairing. People shipped them long before it became trendy, creating fan art, compilation videos, and entire online communities dedicated to the idea that they were more than just colleagues. But this moment felt different. It wasn't the teasing, playful energy they displayed at press junkets. This was heavier, more deliberate. The murmurs in the crowd grew louder as Woo-seok raised a hand, signaling for patience. "We'll get there," he said, his smile a little steadier now. "But let's start from the beginning." And so they began to talk, not about the secret itself, but about the years that had led them to the stage. Recounted the first time they met, the awkward handshake, the surprising common interests. They spoke about filming long nights together, sharing instant noodles in the green room, texting each other encouragement during difficult shoots. For the fans, this was both familiar and yet achingly new. There was a rawness to the way they spoke now. Every word carried the weight of the unspoken. Their stories were punctuated by moments where their eyes met just a second too long, where a half-smile seemed to carry entire conversations. The press was eating it up. In the back of the room, entertainment journalists were typing furiously, already crafting headlines that would dominate the morning news. Still, the secret remained unsaid. When the event ended for the night, no revelation had been made. It was the ultimate cliffhanger. Fans spilled into the streets buzzing with speculation. Some swore it had to be a relationship announcement. Thought it might be a joint project overseas. Another but very vocal group believed it could be something far more personal, perhaps a shared struggle, a charity mission born from a private tragedy. Morning, Kbiz was ablaze. Television hosts opened their shows by replaying clips of the two stars exchanging knowing looks. Radio DJs asked listeners to call in with their guesses. On social media, every tiny detail from the fan meeting was dissected. Someone noticed Woo-seok wearing a bracelet that matched one Hye-yoon had worn months earlier. Another fan pointed out the way she had suddenly moved closer to him when he mentioned supporting each other through everything. Then came the interviews. Both stars, days following, appeared separately on various programs, and in each one, a dreaded question was asked, "What is the secret?" Hye-yoon would smile, sometimes shake her head, and say, "You'll know soon." Woo-seok would chuckle and add, "We promise to share it together." have to wait for us. This only intensified the obsession. Every public appearance, every social media post, every offhand comment from their co-stars became potential evidence. The world was hooked. And neither of them seemed in a rush to satisfy that hunger for answers. The longer it went on, the speculation transformed into something bigger. It wasn't just about two celebrities anymore, it became a shared cultural event. A collective guessing game that united fans across countries and languages. And yet, beneath all the excitement, there was a quiet undercurrent of sincerity. The way they had looked at each other on that stage had struck a chord. Whatever the secret was, it wasn't a publicity stunt. It was real. It mattered to them. By the time the announcement was finally scheduled, a joint press conference, the anticipation had reached fever pitch. Tickets to attend were gone within minutes. Fans flew in from overseas. Reporters from Japan, China, and even the US requested credentials. The venue itself, a sleek glass-fronted building in the heart of Seoul, was surrounded by barricades to manage the expected crowd. Inside, the atmosphere was electric. Rows of cameras pointed toward the empty stage. Red recording lights glowing like watchful eyes. Front row was lined with notable figures from the industry, all of them wearing polite smiles that barely hid their own curiosity. And then, the moment arrived. The lights dimmed. The doors at the side of the stage opened. Kim Hye-yoon stepped out first, in a cream-colored dress that caught the light with every step. Byeon Woo-seok followed in a perfectly tailored suit. His expression calm but his eyes carrying that same spark fans had seen before. They stood side by side, bowed deeply. And when they straightened, the room erupted in applause. "We know you've been waiting," Hye-yoon began. Her voice clear, steady, but filled with emotion. "And we're ready to tell you." Suk glanced at her, then at the sea of cameras and eager faces before them. "Something we decided to share together. Because it belongs to both of us," he said. The hush that fell over the room was almost tangible. Pens poised above notepads. Fingers hovered over record buttons. Hearts raced. And then, Hye-yoon took a breath, sweeping across the crowd as if she could see every single person waiting. "For years," she began softly, "we've been asked about our relationship, whether it was friendship, whether it was something more. We've laughed it off. We've stayed quiet. And we've kept a part of our story just for us." His hand brushed lightly against hers, not a dramatic gesture, but enough to make the room collectively gasp. "Truth," she continued, "is that we've shared something very personal, a dream we built together, in secret, since before we even filmed our first drama." The room seemed to lean forward. Woo-seok stepped in. "That dream," he said, "to create a scholarship fund for underprivileged youth who want to study acting and filmmaking. It's something close to our hearts because both of us know how hard it can be to start in this industry without support." Stunned silence, followed by an explosion of applause. Some fans had been expecting romance. Others a big Hollywood project. But this was unexpected in the most heartfelt way. Hye-yoon's voice trembled slightly as she explained further. "We didn't talk about it because we wanted to build it first. We've been putting aside a portion of every paycheck, working with friends in the industry. And now, it's ready. Launching it next month. And it will cover tuition, housing, for students who have the passion but not the means." As the significance sank in, reporters began scribbling furiously. This wasn't just a celebrity headline, it was a legacy in the making. Fans watching via live stream flooded the chat with messages, "Proud of you. This is why we stand. Crying right now." Woo-seok smiled at the cameras. "We wanted tonight to be about more than us. We wanted it to be about what we can do together. And what we hope will last long after our careers are over." The Q&A session that followed was filled with emotional moments. One fan asked how they came up with the idea. Yoon recalled meeting a young extra on set who confessed he was about to quit acting school because he couldn't afford the fees. "That conversation stayed with me," she said. "And when I told Woo-seok, he said, 'Let's do something about it.'" The reporter asked if this meant they were also dating. The room laughed. But Woo-seok's answer was thoughtful. "We're partners," he said, "in this project. Supporting each other. And in making a difference. Whatever label you put on that, it's real." By the end of the night, social media was flooded with clips of their announcement. Tears in their eyes as they spoke. And the standing ovation they received. Hashtags like HyeWoo Foundation, Kbiz with heart, And this Israel love trended worldwide. In the days that followed, donations poured in from fans and fellow celebrities alike. Major brands offered to sponsor the scholarship. Alumni from acting schools sent messages of thanks and support. The story wasn't just entertainment news anymore, it was being covered by mainstream outlets as a model of celebrity influence used for good. For Hye-yoon and Woo-seok, it was palpable. It feels like we can finally talk about it openly, she told a magazine in an exclusive interview. And seeing the fans embrace it, that's the best feeling in the world. Woo-seok agreed. The secret wasn't meant to tease anyone. It was just something we wanted to protect until it was ready. Now that it's out, it's not just ours, it belongs to everyone who believes in the dream. And so, a mystery that began with a single teasing line at a fan meeting ended with something far more meaningful than gossip. It became a story of two stars using their platform for change, and in the process, proving that sometimes the most powerful secrets aren't about romance or scandal, but about hope. Thank you for joining us on this unforgettable journey into one of Kbiz's most talked about moments. This is Red Carpet Revealed. Signing off, until the next big story breaks. See you soon.